What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy, CamATL, and welcome back to another NFL video with your boy. As you guys know, this is probably the most hectic, crazy NFL week of the entire season. Not probably, it definitely is. This reminds me a lot of last season's COVID season. But hey, it's not going to stop us from anything. We're going for 11-4 on the season this week, and we're going to get it. Greenlightdfs.com to join the squad. Thank you guys for joining me as always. Projections are updated as of like a few minutes before me coming in here. So I did my best to make sure I'm getting everybody who's getting some type of bump here and why. And we're going to go ahead and go position by position. I'm not going to keep up too much of your time. I'm going to pretty much try to go through this. I mean, look, there's so many different variables still existing, even as of this final look. Like, there's players that might be able to play. That they're changing rules around, so they might be able to come back if they test negative, or all bunch of different things, man. That is going to come down to paying attention up until the day of the slate. But with the information I have available as of right now, I'm going to try to get through this and get y'all the best information I can. If Go grab a package at greenlightdfs.com. Go grab Week 15's package, because tomorrow I will be playing each of the games showdown slates for tomorrow. Not the two-game slate together, but each individual game showdown. We'll be doing that for tomorrow, as well as we have college football tomorrow. So it's a big weekend for NFL this week. And you'll be able to follow like the guys as I update their projections and stuff like that on the Greenlight Optimizer as this whole confusing situation goes on. By Sunday morning, I'll have a good grasp on the official and what we're looking like, and I'll have the optimizer updated completely. But as of right now, I have it updated with the information I have to me right now, and we'll get straight into it. If you see anything, if you see anybody projected that maybe just recently, maybe after I recorded this or right before or something was ruled out or something, let me know in the comment section, and I can go ahead and update this immediately. But if you see anything that seems to be odd or off, let me know in the comment section, because like I said, it's a crazy week and I'm working on making sure everything's updated and where it needs to be, and I believe it's good as of right now. So let's go ahead and get straight into it, man. We got a position by position. As you can see on the slate, I have Cooper Kupp projected as the highest point total player on this entire slate. Are you going to need to spend for him is the question. I love the situation for him. Obviously, it's an amazing spot for him. Yeah, I mean, it's not too hard of a thing to understand. I mean, look, you got the Rams are beat down right now. You've got Odell Beckham probably missing, right? Isn't Odell? Let me check. Odell Beckham is out this week due to COVID. We'll have to see what happens with that. Obviously, you never really know if these guys are going to be coming back or not. But as of right now, it's looking like Odell Beckham will miss. But there still is that chance if he stays asymptomatic and is able to log a couple negative tests at least 24 hours apart before Sunday's game. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, as of right now, as if Odell Beckham is out, Cooper Kupp obviously is going to project amazing, and for good reason. Let's start position by position, though. All right, so starting off at quarterback, as you can see, my top projected quarterback is Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray against Detroit is just an amazing position. The question is Detroit going to keep this game close enough to where Kyler really needs to do a bunch throughout the entire game? And that's the only question mark here. Kyler Murray obviously can do so much. Detroit gives it up on the ground, gives it up through the air. I mean, they give it up everywhere. It's a fantastic spot for Murray. I don't necessarily think you need to, play this, because Kyler is a little banged up right now. And we'll just have to see how it goes. But I mean, at the end of the day, I have him projected as the highest total, highest projections, especially if the game stays close. But at the end of the day, there is a little risk here with this one, because the game could get out of hand and him not really be forced to do much. All right, let's go point per salary and really get my good, favorite picks on this slate as of their prices. One guy that I do like is Jared Goff. I know that he doesn't have amazing weapons here for him. I mean, but at the end of the day, game script should be highly in his favor this week. But it tends to be in his favor highly every week, so keep that in mind. But at only 5-1, I mean, this dude, I also have a wide receiver that we'll talk about that I love, who's been getting ridiculously targeted. One of the highest targeted receivers in the league lately that's priced really low that can pair up with Goff pretty well. But I like Jared Goff as a solid little, cheap guy to go with. Let's talk about Tua Tagovailoa going against the Jets. I have some Jet run back guys that I like on the other end. Tua obviously is going to be without Jalen Waddle, but another reason to like Tua is because you got the good pairing of him and Devontae Parker with no Waddle. So, I mean, that's what it comes down to. You guys know each and every week when I come in here and talk to you guys, I pretty much, I tell you, either play a quarterback that can be ran solo with his rushing ability, or make sure that you're getting a quarterback that you feel great about a receiver. Let's say, right, you're going through this slate, right? And Devontae Parker's just popping for you, which he is for me. I love Devontae Parker. Huge upside possibility with Waddle out. Obviously, with my love for Devontae Parker, I'd be interested in pairing him with Tua. So it kind of is the same kind of situation. You look at what you have available to you on the slate, and you kind of it helps you sway you in a direction of a quarterback as well, depending on what targets you like pairing up with. And on this slate, that's one of those things. Jared Goff can be paired with Amon St. Brown, who's been getting targeted like crazy. Jimmy Garoppolo can be paired with Kittle and Deebo Samuel and all that good stuff. So good spots. Teddy Bridgewater, I do have up at the top. I'm still kind of a wait and see on this play right here. He's been fairly consistent. He hasn't been too bad. He's got, some of his weapons back healthy, depending on if they stay healthy with COVID, but we'll see what happens. But Teddy Bridgewater does project out well. Jimmy Garoppolo against Atlanta, obviously, at 5'8" is solid. Jared Goff against Arizona playing catch-up the whole game should have a decent floor. Tua, love him with who I can pair him with. Same thing with Goff. Jalen Hurts, I would be down to run solo. I have him projected out really well against Washington. Is Washington going to be able to keep this game close with Heineke out, with COVID, and all types of stuff, man? It's just so much going on that you really got to keep in consideration. But Jalen Hurts should be able to run all over the place here if he wants to. He's been limited throughout practice, but I think he's going to be cleared to play. We'll see what happens. But Jalen Hurts had the bye to recover, and now he's back going against a bad Washington defense. This is a solid spot. He is leaning towards playing, and at 6'6", I don't love any pairing options with him. Like, I don't really love pairing him with anybody, but I do love the fact that his rushing ability gives you a solid little floor. Russell Wilson's interesting to me this week because the Rams obviously are going to put up points. They do each and every week. But Russell Wilson's a solid spot because Tyler Lockett is out, which is going to give a big bump to DK Metcalf. Are we finally going to see the DK Metcalf big game that he has available to him? And I think it is. I mean, finally we might see DK Metcalf break out. So Russell Wilson's another guy I really, really like in stacks paired up with DK Metcalf. And that's about it. These are the guys: Jalen Hurts, Russell Wilson, Tua Tagovailoa, Jared Goff as like a floor guy, and Jimmy Garoppolo. I'm still on a wait and see with Teddy. He projects out well for me, but I'm still kind of waiting and seeing on that. But good matchup against Cincinnati here. They should be playing catch up as well, so we'll see how that goes. But that is my core of quarterbacks that I like this week. All right, running backs. Point per salary, I have James Robinson at the top, as you can see. He was resting in practice Thursday, but he should be good to go this week. Going against Houston is a fantastic matchup. Finally, they got rid of Urban Meyer, which felt like it was just a long time coming. He was eventually going to be out eventually. And the team kind of, I'm expecting a morale boost with the team. I mean, they just didn't really like the situation going on. Too many distractions. And at the end of the day, this dude is a guy that they want to feed in this offense. I'm expecting a great game out of James Robinson. Expect them to get back heavy to realizing, look, James Robinson is an amazing player. We need to feed him in this offense if we want any chance of salvaging anything this season. So James Robinson against Houston, fantastic matchup. Really, really love him a lot this week. Michael Carter is a guy that I really, really like, man. He's expected to see a ton of work in this Jets offense, man. He's expected to return this week. You have Tevin Coleman expected to return as well, but you've just got guys out in this situation is just it's a solid spot for me, man. He's a solid little pass-catching running back. He's cheap at only 4.7. I really like this spot here for him. He is going to be the guy. He's going to be a heavy workload coming back is what I'm hearing so far out of the coaching staff, that they expect to see, heavy workload from him. So I really like Michael Carter. Eli Mitchell. Eli Mitchell's a guy to keep an eye on. He hasn't been practicing with the team yet, but he's kind of been on the sideline running and doing his thing. He's got to clear the concussion protocol and, keep an eye on that situation. If Eli Mitchell plays, I love him at 6'2" against Atlanta. It's going to be a fantastic spot for Eli. Next up, Myles Gaskin with Jalen Waddle out. Don't get it confused. Myles Gaskin is a target that Tua loves in the pass game as well. So Myles Gaskin's in a solid spot here against the Jets. Great matchup against the Jets run defense at 5'6". I really love Gaskin as well. With Waddle out, don't sleep. This dude's gonna get some good targets in the pass game as well. Najee Harris is just a workhorse back, dude. Like when it comes out of everybody in the league, this dude gets crazy amount of touches. Week in, week out, he's going to be a decent play. David Johnson projects out well for me. David Johnson is going to be the lead back this week. It looks like the coach came out and said that, yes, he's going to be their primary running back. Rex Burkhead is out. They're just incredibly thin at the running back position. It looks like they're left with just like David Johnson, Royce Freeman, and then like practice squad guy Darius Jackson. So expect to see a lot of David Johnson this week. Solid matchup against Jacksonville. I have some interest in David Johnson as like GPP cheap guy to put in your lineups that could have a big game. David Johnson used to be the best running back in the league. It sucks to see him down this far at 4'9", but I mean he's not the guy he once was. But if he's getting a good amount of work in this offense, you might be able to see him do some things. Rashad Penny. Rashad Penny had a fantastic game in this last game with Tyler Lockett out. Maybe they lean even heavier on the run game. And I mean, look, Penny looked fantastic. It looks like he's going to continue starting. Pete Carroll came out and said. So Rashad Penny, starting running back, 5'4". Not the greatest matchup against the Rams. But at the end of the day, Rashad Penny is the main guy here. Tyler Lockett most likely out of this offense. So, I mean, look, man, it's Rashad Penny day. It is, and it's going to be some DK Metcalf. So, I really like this spot for Rashad Penny at 5'4" as well. Who else do I want to talk about on this slate? Joe Mixon's a solid choice as well. Antonio Gibson, Saquon Barkley project out as the main guys, but mostly I like value guys. I like James Robinson a lot at 5'4". I like Michael Carter at 4'7" a ton. Eli Mitchell, Gaskin. These guys are like my real like cheap guys that I really really like on this slate, as well as Rashad Penny. When it comes to spending up, Najee Harris probably the safest of the bunch. Highest projected running back on the slate is Najee Harris, followed by James Robinson, Joe Mixon, Eli Mitchell, Zeke, and so on and so forth. So, wide receivers. Now, at the wide receiver position, obviously, as you can see, I have Cooper Kupp light years ahead of anyone, and he's got some crazy upside potential here, man. It's a fantastic spot. I really, really love this spot here for Cooper Kupp. Obviously, I mean, I don't have to explain this much. I'm not going to waste too much of your time talking about why I like Cooper Kupp. If you have the money, which we do have some value at the running back position, go Cooper Kupp because he's going to be a safe bet, especially if Odell's out as well. Like, man, this team beat down. So love Cooper Kupp. DK Metcalf, plain and simple, no Tyler Lockett, only 6'2". I mean, what can go wrong, right? I mean, this should be the week, right? I mean, come on. I have him projected almost 22. I have him projecting out as almost a must play with no Lockett. Really, really love him. Let's sort point per salary and really get to the nitty gritty here. Devontae Parker. Love the pairing of Tua, Devontae Parker this week against the Jets. That's a solid, solid pairing. Devontae Parker's damn near locked for me on the Greenlight Optimizer, and in my gut and in my mind and in my heart. Me and Devontae Parker have a close connection this week, and I'm hoping he really comes through for me, man. All right, if he does, I'm going to send him like Valentine's cards, all types of stuff, man. So I want you to show up for me, Devontae. I love this spot for him against the Jets. I love pairing him with Tua, so I have 4-3. It's a really solid spot there. DK Metcalf. If you want to go some DK Metcalf paired up with Wilson, you can. They are a run-heavier team in Seattle, so they probably try to control this clock as much as they can and use a lot of Rashad Penny. But at the end of the day, dude, at only 6'2", with the upside potential DK has and no Tyler Lockett, DK Metcalf's fantastic. I'm not going to talk about Cooper Kupp again. Amon-Ra St. Brown. This dude's been getting crazy targets. Like, let me pull that up real quick. Listen to this. He's becoming a real serious safety valve for Goff. Anytime Goff like just wants to find somebody open, this dude tends to be open 24 hours in the day like 7-Eleven. All right? He's open nonstop. I love this dude. 12 targets each of the last two. He has 24 targets in the last two games combined. Now he's going against Arizona, where they're going to be behind big this entire game. Expect another big amount of targets for Amon-Ra St. Brown. Really love this spot for him. He is 5'2", so I wish he was like 3K and we are getting a discount on him. But 5'2", you're not getting a discount on him, but for good reason, man. I have him projected almost 16 playing from behind garbage time points. Ben Skowronek. If Odell Beckham misses, this guy's going to be sneaky at 3K, baby. All right, I have him projected almost 9. He's a solid value guy to stuff into your lineups. Really like Ben a lot this week. Sorry, somebody's at my door. But Ben is in a fantastic spot at Barrett Min 3K, especially if Odell does in fact miss. D. Eskridge, no Tyler Lockett. So DK Metcalf is not going to be the only guy getting a bump here. D. Eskridge also will be getting a bump. He's in a fantastic spot. Don't sleep on Albert Wilson with no Jalen Waddle. Albert Wilson's going to get a bump in snaps. Really like him as well at 3-4. Like, look at this. We have Skowronek at 3K. We have D. Eskridge at 3K. We have Albert Wilson at 3-4. Like, COVID just brings on so much value. I swear. Devontae Parker at 4-3, who's locked above any of these guys. Like, play Devontae Parker and move on. But we've got Cole Beasley at 4-9. Josh Reynolds pops for me at 4-3, playing from behind. I mean, those are my... Look, man. There's so much value on this slate this week. I think Cooper Kupp's probably a lock as a spend up. You might even be able to just lock in one of these spend up quarterbacks. Because there's just so much value on this slate. It just depends how safe you feel with them. All right, plain and simple. That's just all it comes down to. How safe do you feel with these spend-up guys? Really like Jalen Hurts at a 6-6. Feel pretty safe with him getting us where we need to go if he plays with his feet against Washington. But overall, man, those are my favorite guys. Top projected wide receivers, obviously. Kupp, Metcalf, and Devontae Adams are my top 3 guys. Going to tight end. George Kittle is at the top in a league of his own this week at tight end. If you go George Kittle, then I'm perfectly fine with pairing him up with Jimmy G. You can obviously do that. Dallas Goedert's in a solid spot. If you do go Jalen Hurts and want to pair him with somebody, then you can pair him up with Dallas Goedert, no problem, obviously. Let's go point per salary. You guys know normally I like to pay down for tight end, and I have it right here. Gerald Everett is a guy that I'm really interested in. He is a solid receiving tight end. They're missing Tyler Lockett, which is a big bump to all these guys. Metcalf, Rashad Penny's going to have a bump. Gerald Everett's going to get a bump. Like, all these guys are getting bumps. Gerald Everett's very interesting to me at 3-5. So he's a solid receiving tight end, and he projects out well for me. I have him over 10, almost 11. So at that, he's damn near locked. Brevin Jordan, once again, I talked about him last week, and he got us a touchdown after I had him popping in optimal lineups. If you were making multiple lineups on the Greenlight Optimizer last week, I had Brevin Jordan pop in there. And he ended up getting a touchdown, I believe. Let me verify. Yeah, he ended up getting 7 targets and a touchdown. So he ended up solid value last week. Once again, he's only 2-8 on a team that probably will be behind. So Brevin Jordan's a solid value as well. Higbee pops if Odell misses, obviously. So that's a solid spot as well. Cooper Kupp's not going to be able to do everything, maybe. I mean, there's possibility he can, honestly. So I'm pretty much, I keep it simple with tight end. Y'all know that. Gerald Everett, Tyler Higbee, Brevin Jordan's kind of the core guys I really like. And if you spend up, George Kittle. Plain and simple. Defense. Let's sort the point per salary for defense as well. We have the Cowboys at the top for me, almost projected 11. Really love the Cowboys against the Giants at 3-6. I mean, just a fantastic spot. Giants are beat down, man. It's a good spot for this Cowboys defense that's been amazing this year. So they're a solid option for sure. If you want to value, maybe the Jaguars come out hyped up with their quarterback change. You know, maybe some of that morale boost brings some, good things to the Jaguars this week. I really love them against Houston. The Eagles against Washington, obviously, with the backup quarterback, they're another solid option. If you want to go Eagles over Cowboys, I completely understand, especially with Washington going, not having Heineke and stuff. But we'll see how all this plays out. Like I said, the rules are changed. If they're able to come back, if they're asymptomatic, they're able to somehow get back a little earlier. So we'll see what happens. A lot of this is going to be super important to stay updated with the final injury report on Sunday morning. That's the biggest thing. And then the Bills really stick out to me. The Bills going against Carolina is interesting to me here because we know Cam Newton. I mean, Cam's one mistake away from getting benched every single week. So, I mean, as we've seen, So the Bills' defense is amazing. They're at home in Buffalo, going against Cam Newton, who can't really throw the ball much. So the Bills stop his rushing ability, and I mean he's gonna make mistakes. The Bills' defense at 3-1 seems a little too cheap this week too. So those are my top four guys: Cowboys, Jaguars, Eagles, and Bills. And that's pretty much it, y'all. If you have any questions for me about who I'm loving on this slate, you can easily see it on the Greenlight Optimizer. Just grab your package for week 15. Go ahead and start playing with it, building your lineups. I will be updating things as time goes on. If you're on the optimizer and you notice a player that maybe I haven't updated and you notice a player is in when maybe he's out as of after this video or something comes up, just let me know. Hit me up on Twitter at cam_ATL and I'll take it out immediately, and it'll be updated anyways, officially for sure. I'll be updating throughout the day today. I'll update tomorrow, and I'll for sure have it updated as the most recent on Sunday after we get the updated information. So remember, we have two games tomorrow, which is new for NFL this season. So we are going to be playing each one's showdown. That will come included with the Week 15 membership. So if you're going to join us for the main slate and go for 11-4 on the season with us, go ahead and go grab that now so you'll get each of the showdown games as well tomorrow. I will not be playing the two-game slate where they're together, but I will be splitting the games up and playing showdown for each. All right? Thank you guys for joining me as always, and I'm out. Peace.